I'm here with Drunk Sports, your boy Kid Chocolate, getting here and spreading love and knowledge, man, and making awareness for everything that we're doing right here with Drunk Sports. God bless y'all.
God bless. Brutal knockout of last weekend was on my guy, Brooklyn's finest. You know what I'm saying? Baby B Hop. I don't even, can we, no disrespect. Can we call him Baby B Hop? He did get Joe Smith. No disrespect.
No, listen, I think the Baby B Hop, damn, like I hate that analogy came back that fitting, but
Yeah.
I think that name when he had it, it was good. But I think also at the same time, it's been a while since he's been that. And this
Absolutely.
last match is a confirmation. We talked about his bout. This one was at lightweight, him between Rayo Valenzuela, a rematch, controversial first bout. Colbert got the win. Whether he felt justified in it or not is irrelevant because when they ran it back, I think justice was duly served. What do you think about Colbert's approach? Because let's just talk about some of the mechanics first and foremost. How do you think he looked? Do you think he looked Baby B Hop-ish as we known him, or did he just look like, you know?
It's a great question. I thought the game plan was all wrong. The high guard laying on the ropes was a huge mistake. Ryu was just punching right through that guard, uppercuts, coming around with the hook. I thought his game plan should have been keep it in the center of the ring, keep that distance, find that range. He's 130, 135 is no good for him, man. I don't think he can bang at that weight. I think the approach, like I said, the approach, I didn't like the approach. I didn't think he looked like himself. His accuracy was off. He had a couple of good spots, but I feel like Ryu, dropped him in the first. I think he put a little, I don't want to say fear in his heart, but there was a lot of caution after that point. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't really counter the way he wanted to. Ryu, man, let me say this about him, man. We had our Jose on the show, Jose Benavidez Sr., and we know that he used to train him, and he used to live with the Benavidez's and all that. And for whatever reason, he stopped training with him, but he still maintains the business aspect of their relationship as the manager, and he was actually in his corner. But I say that to say this: Ryu I was kind of impressed with Ryu, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought his speed was on point, his power was overwhelming. He jumped him from the beginning of the round. He sold out because he knew B-Hop had no power. So there was no worry about really catching any power shots back. He couldn't keep Ryu honest. And I just think, I just think that Chris, that's not the weight, man. I don't know if like me and you talked about this a while ago. I know he has a lot of business ventures going on. Fast food joints and whatever, different things, but I'm not sure if he's all the way has both feet in boxing anymore. What do you think?
I'm glad you said that because that was my thing. And it's funny, I felt as though he's fighting like a former world champion. And I don't say that respect. I mean, like he's fighting like, he's celebrating. He's fighting like he's celebrating like his best days are behind him.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Yeah.
Like when you talk about him, falling back on the ropes on a high guard. That's going out to me. That's a going out strategy.
Yeah.
And Ryo, I think his confidence grew when he said, "Yo, this motherfucker gonna let me throw punches at him? I ain't tripping." And Chris, to me, observation, he was conditioned like if that was a street scrap, fast twitch muscles, you don't want to fuck with him. But he was trying to fight someone he should have been trying to box.
Absolutely.
And that in of itself, between that approach, leaning back on the ropes, like I said, former champion coming in there, a weight class above. I'm teetering the lines of saying that he was in there for a bag.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that because he's a young man.
Yeah,
he's a young man. Now here's the gift and the curse with that. I think sometimes we shame fighters when we say, "Yo, his heart ain't in it. He ain't in it no more," because if this was the streets, he should have a plan B, right? Or should he just aspire to be El Chapo? Well, you know what happens to El Chapo, right? And you also know what fighters that fight forever, what happens to them. So
Right.
the thing about it is, if this was the match that let us know that he ain't in it no more, he, at least I think him and his team should come to that conclusion, because this is where it gets dangerous.
Absolutely.
You put yourself in the ring against somebody that's punching with bad intentions, and I know there was some respect afterwards.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to find many opponents that are going to be kind to you if you're coming in there with game plans that don't really suit your opponent,
Right.
nor really is the formula for your success in the ring. You know,
Absolutely.
so I'm not trying to shame him or his peoples, but I think the business ventures might be outweighing the priority in boxing right now, which is fair to say.
Yeah.
But he got to realize that before we all do, because like I said, it gets dangerous if you don't.
Yeah, not everybody the old Marvin Hagler adage, man. It's hard to get up and run at 5 a.m. when you sleep in a silk sheet. You got to be a different type of dude to do that. There's a lot of dudes in the game that still do that, but you got to be wired a little bit different. You got to want it. You got to want, I hate the word greatness, but greatness, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this quick.
Yeah.
Is it Brooklyn?
What do you mean?
We've seen a lot of fighters from Brooklyn, and I don't want to shame. We've seen fighters, period. But maybe I'm picking on Brooklyn. But we've seen, some fighters like reach that level, and then once they've ascended to the level of being very good, they kind of miss out. And I'm not discrediting anybody, but we're talking about Shannon Briggs, Riddick Bowe just made it.
Yeah.
We're talking about Danny Jacobs. We're talking about Chris Colbert. We're talking about Zab. But Zab was undisputed. But we are talking about, again, past that expiration date and fighting beyond the point. We're talking about Curtis Stevenson.
Yeah.
Or Curtis Stevens, rather, right? You know what I'm saying? So we talk about a few guys that maybe it's the Brooklyn way. They get that bread. They've been hungry for so long.
Yeah.
They get some bread and then they they relax a little bit,
Yeah, no, shit. I hate to say it. First of all, I'm from Queens, but we all together out here, you know what I'm saying? But you make a good point with that, man. It might be Brooklyn, man. Shout out to Brooklyn, man. Brooklyn, y'all gotta step your game up, you know what I'm saying?
I think you from Queens, huh?
Yeah, I'm from the Q borough, you know what I'm saying? But
there you go.
But you never know, man. But I think I hate to say this, man. Like, I think sometimes New York dudes put the cart in front of the horse, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they talk a lot of shit. They got that New York, like, if I wasn't from New York,
throw him in there. Let's throw Edgar in there, and then I want you to go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. But and this jury